What things did you discover?
We're trying to sing against the music and not really succeeding.
It's very intoxicating, you know?
It creates
really
a
easy to
very,
fall into.
yeah, there were kind of two tempos, like stillness and then quick movements, and then sort of a, how do you describe that? Sort of a
sensuous movement.
sensuous moving through the beat underneath it.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a lot of in-betweenish stuff.
Exactly. What did you notice about your tendency to shape? Did you want to close the space in between, or did you keep it open?
Open.
It was open,
It was really open,
which
yeah.
was really interesting. What else? Was it curved, or was it more linear and jar?
All curved.
Actually, it was more linear.
I thought it was more linear.
Yeah, it felt linear
It was
to
like
me,
straight.
too.
There were straight angular edges. Even when
Yeah.
song comes over to make shape, it was this.
Huh.
So it was very
Yeah, there was a lot
interesting.
of, I saw a lot of straight arms, like absolutely arrow straight arms.
Whereas before with the fountain music, it was very curved and linear and sensual, and all the rest of this was very warrior almost. And it was really interesting how you used Keith's body as an obstacle, climbing over it or engaging. Did anybody feel like they had a story that came up for them?
I kept wanting to hum the theme song from Hawaii Five-0.
End scene. That was Keith's story.
It was empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, it felt very aggressive.
Yeah. I was very angry.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was very like war
You were
dance.
making
And I was like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
In fact, Keith came over to me and I was like, magic.
Yeah, it wasn't, I wasn't angry, but I felt very dominant.
So you had a dominant, you had a enchantress, shaman, and you had a warrior kind of aspect.
Not necessarily angry, but just very strong.
Primal
But I
power.
did notice that we were still very in tune because I felt a strong desire to move, and then I realized that once again I was moving in tandem and
Yeah.
doing almost the exact opposite of somebody else.
Right.
So it's like, oh, that's obviously we were all very connected and very focused.
Very much.
There were moments of like individual connection. So when I was laying down in songs, or me or Kat and I were somehow moving in simpatico over here, and Shauna and I stalking one another, and even Amy. I mean, I could tell she didn't want me to touch her, but we were still having a moment,
Yes,
and our energy was shared.
There was a story.
Yeah, so even without text, which is of course another level you add in, there were stories being conveyed. There were repetition that built upon things physically, obstacles, shapes, all the things that Viewpoints brings. A successful venture into music and Viewpoints. Thanks for watching.
Viewpoints is actually really fun. It's really interesting. It helps you sort of get out of your head a lot faster than if I were doing something like the Stanislavsky Method or Uta Hagen, which they're all valid and they work well too. And I do certainly use those. But with Viewpoints, it helps me sort of not think and just do what seems to come natural and how it feels, rather than thinking about, oh, is this right, or would they move this way? It just sort of happens, and you go with it, and if it feels right, you go with it, and if it doesn't feel right, then you explore another avenue, and I think that that's really interesting how that works without actually thinking about it too much. I think in the same vein of not thinking about it too much, it helps sort of find how those relationships actually work within your body, and just letting it happen without I'm losing the word here, without making it something that it